Ludovic has worked as a street cleaner in Paris for 6 years. He began on a garbage truck, now he's on foot. He loves his job, but he's been on strike on and off now for a week. He's protesting against the French government's plan to raise the retirement age by 2 years under its proposed pension reform. Ludovic says people who do challenging jobs shouldn't be made to work longer.
2 more years is far too much, because this is a difficult job with repetitive gesture. Because I use this all the time, I can barely move my hands and fingers in the morning.
Garbage workers and street cleaners in Paris have been on strike for more than a week, and it shows. The city council says thousands of tons of rubbish hasn't been collected.
There are overflowing bins like this nearly everywhere in Paris, and what garbage collectors hope is that the dirty streets will help put pressure on the government to scrap their proposed reform.
French President Emmanuel Macron says the reform is necessary because the pension system is too complex and costly. Workers on this picket line at the city's biggest garbage incinerator say the changes will affect poorer people the most. Frédéric's cleaned Paris's sewers for more than 2 decades. He works underground with heavy equipment in conditions that are hot, humid and polluted.
A study was done that shows the life expectancy of garbage and sewage workers is 12 to 17 years less than for other people. But the government still wants us to work longer, which is unfair. I invite the French president to spend a day working in the sewers, which I imagine will be very different than sitting at his desk in the Élysée.
Macron's government doesn't have a parliamentary majority, so it's trying to win support for its reform from some opposition MPs, but it's not easy. The bill's unpopular with many lawmakers. Meanwhile, trade union leaders say they'll continue to call for more protests and strikes until the reform is binned. Natasha Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.